Okay.
And then the width was 8 too.
Okay. So then Mason, can you pick up from there? Then what did you guys do?
So we times 8 times 8 times 8. We knew 8 times 8 was 64. And then we just times 8.
Why did you need to know what 8 times 8 was?
Like, because 8 times 8 and 8, since it's like centimeters times height, they both equal 8, so you times 3 8s.
Okay.
And so first we did 2 8s and 8 was 64.
And where did that cover? If I said
The area.
The area.
The area.
Of what?
Of the shape.
Okay. So that was the bottom. You figured out the area of what the bottom covered? Yeah? Michael, would you agree with that? So if he did 8 times 8, he did the length times the width, is that right? Yeah. He said he covered the area first.
And
Okay.
then we did the height. 8 times 64 equals 500.
Okay. So what do you mean you times it by the height? Who can explain what that means? What does he mean when he says that? Serenity?
He's timesing it by how tall it is.
Okay. What?
The volume.
He's finding the volume by timesing by how tall it is. Okay. Stacy?
He's taking 64
Uh-huh.
and timesing 8 to it
Okay.
because 8 is how many layers there is.
Okay. So you're saying there's 8 layers. Okay. And each layer had how much? How'd you know that again, Serenity? Okay. So you knew once you knew the area, that's going to tell you how much is in each layer. And then Stacy, you said you knew that there was 8 layers because you measured with the 8 boxes or the cubes. Okay, thumbs up or down if you agree with that combined. Good. Okay. I saw a lot of you looking over at our volume anchor chart. Does that help you kind of remember some of those words?
Yeah, because it helps you with the length and the width is the area and the height.
Yeah, because we kind of talked about length and width and height yesterday. And sometimes it seemed like those words were a little bit hard for you to remember because maybe they're not words that you use every day. Raise your hand if you're kind of thinking, I have a hard time remembering what those
Jody
words
Tuttle,
are.
please come to the
Yeah, be
office.
honest,
Jody
it's
Tuttle
okay.
to the office.
I noticed that yesterday, so one of the things I put up here, I kind of put a little anchor chart up here to kind of help you remember. Now, where is the length? If I'm measuring the length, I'm going to measure how long something is. If I'm going to measure the width, I'm going to measure how wide something is. And then we talked about height. When you go to the doctor, they always measure your height. That's how tall you are. Okay? So if you are kind of confused with where the length, the width, and the height are, go ahead and look up there. That is just fine. Because what does length, width, and height combine together? What does that help us do?
It makes volume.
It does make volume, and we sometimes call those dimensions, don't we? We kind of started using the word dimensions. All right. So what I'm going to do today, I'm not going to give you a box. Today, I'm going to give you a number of cubes, and you have to make boxes that would fit that many cubes. Okay? So if I were to give you 24 cubes, I came up with a box that looked like this. I took 24 cubes during a lunch break, and I set them all up, and I made a box that looked like this. Now, if I were to write down what that box looks like, or the dimensions of this box, how could I record that? Turn and talk to a partner. How could I record that?
You could measure it. You have to count every side and see what it is. Times that.
Okay? Freeze. Okay. Gosh, I heard lots of good discussions going on. Braxton, can you kind of help me out?
Well, we had you would have the bottom.
Okay.
And then you would see how much that was, so you could kind of get an idea of what the length, the width is.
Okay.
And then you would get the height, and you would times it all.
Okay. So, Braxton, if I gave you 24 cubes, and let's say you came up with this shape, could you tell me what the length and the width and the height is for this box? If I'm holding it like this.
The